You wake up and the world is gone. Everything you know, every tree, every rock, every trail you have walked 1,000 times, gone. Replaced by something white, silent, completely still. You have never seen anything like it in your entire life. You reach out and touch it and it disappears on your skin like a ghost. You have no word for it, no story about it, no warning that it was coming, just white, everywhere, and a cold so deep it feels like the world is trying to kill you. This is not a nightmare. This is a Tuesday morning for your ancestor, somewhere between 70,000 and 40,000 years ago. The first time a human being ever stood in front of snow and had absolutely no idea what to do next. And here is the wild part. They figured it out with no manual, no experience, no one to ask, just instinct, each other, and sheer desperate will to see the next morning. So what did they actually do? The very first thing was panic. Let us be honest about that. Your ancestor was not calm, they were terrified. Every animal instinct in their body was screaming. The temperature was dropping fast. The food they knew how to find was buried or gone. The landmarks they used to navigate had vanished under white. Everything familiar was erased overnight. But here is what makes humans different from almost every other animal on this planet. Panic did not win. Curiosity did. Someone in that group touched the snow again, looked at it, picked it up, watched it melt. And in that tiny moment, something shifted. This thing is not a predator. It is not poison. It is just cold. Very, very cold. And that small observation, that simple piece of information, was the first step towards surviving something no human had ever survived before. The second thing they did was move toward each other. Not because they decided to, because their bodies demanded it. When your temperature starts dropping, your brain has one message: find warmth. And the closest source of warmth was the person standing next to you. So they pressed together, bodies against bodies, sharing heat the only way they could. The group was not just family in that moment, the group was survival technology. But body heat alone does not cut it when the temperature keeps falling. So they did the thing that may have saved the entire human species. They kept the fire burning. Fire was not new to them. Your ancestors had been using fire for hundreds of thousands of years before snow ever entered the picture. They knew how to start it, how to feed it, how to protect it from wind. And on that first frozen night, that knowledge became the most valuable thing any human being had ever possessed. Picture it: dark, silent except for the wind, snow falling in the orange glow of the fire. The whole group huddled at the mouth of a cave, watching the flames, watching the tree line, watching the white world outside, and just waiting for morning. No one slept properly. Everyone was listening, because in the dark, the snow muffled every sound. And muffled sound means you cannot hear what is hunting you. That feeling you get when it is too quiet outside at night. That low hum of unease. That is your ancestors' memory. Still running in your nervous system. Still doing its job. By morning, the question changed from how do we stay warm to what do we eat? Because snow had buried everything. The roots, the berries, the plants they knew. All of it gone. And the animals they hunted had either moved or disappeared into the white. For the first time in their lives, your ancestors faced a world that had no food in it. So they followed the animals. Not randomly. They watched. They tracked. They noticed that certain large animals, the big ones, the ones worth chasing, moved in patterns when it got cold. Always in the same direction. Always toward the same valleys. Your ancestors learned to predict that. To get ahead of the herd instead of chasing it. To use their minds instead of just their legs. That decision, that shift from reacting to planning, is one of the reasons you are sitting here today. And then there was the clothing problem. Before snow, your ancestors wore very little. The African heat did not require much. But standing in a blizzard with bare skin is not a philosophy. It is a death sentence. So they looked at the animals they had just killed for food. And someone, at some point, had the idea that would change everything. Take the skin, wear it. Not as decoration, not as ritual. As pure, desperate problem solving. They scraped the hide, stretched it, wrapped it around themselves and around their children. And for the first time in human history, clothing became armor against the sky itself. Think about how strange that thought must have been the first time it occurred to someone. You are an animal, and you just put on another animal to survive a world that was trying to kill you. That first winter was brutal. There is no romantic version of it. People died, probably children first, the old and the weak, the ones the cold took before morning. Every group that survived that first season lost someone to the snow, and the ones left standing were the ones who had learned the fastest. Fire, warmth, each other, follow the animals, wear the skin, simple rules, impossible stakes. And here is what gets me. Those survivors, the ones who made it through that first winter, eventually spread everywhere. North, east, across frozen land bridges into entirely new continents. Every civilization that ever built a city in a cold place traces back to a group of people who once looked at snow for the first time and had to figure out in real time whether it was going to kill them. Spoiler, it did not. Tonight, when you pull a blanket over yourself, when you reach for something warm without even thinking about it, when a fire or a candle or even just a warm room makes you feel safe in a way that goes deeper than just temperature, that is not comfort. That is memory. Ancient, bone-deep memory from the people who taught the whole human species how to survive the cold. They woke up one morning and the world was gone, and they figured it out anyway. So can you.